Alright, what's going on everybody? Today, I'm going to be breaking down what actually works for getting clients with AI lead generation. Because between my own business, the people I've worked with, and the thousands of outreach messages, campaigns, wins, and mistakes that I've personally seen, I've basically seen everything. The good, the bad, and the stuff that makes you wonder what the person was even thinking. And after all of that, I could tell you exactly what separates people who gets clients from the people who try AI lead generation for months but still don't see any results. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the real principles that actually matter. Not hacks, not one-off scripts, the principles that work because they're based on real human behavior. And if you've been trying AI lead generation and you just feel stuck or feel invisible, what I'm going to show you will just change everything completely. Let's get into it. The first thing I want you to understand is this. People fail because they try copy tactics without understanding the strategy. It's like watching a chef cook something on YouTube and thinking, cool, I'll do that myself. I'll sprinkle some salt and sprinkle some peppers on it too. Then you try it and your kitchen looks like a war zone and the food doesn't taste as intended. It's not the recipe, it's the skill behind it. AI lead generation is the exact same. People copy a cold email that they saw online. They copy a template and they wonder why nobody replies. They say cold emails is dead. They say AI is saturated. They say that the model doesn't work. But the truth is simple. The principles matter way more than the messages. So here are the real principles that get you replies, booked calls, clients, and real dollars into your bank account. Now, principle 1, stop selling the service. Start solving problems. Most beginners position themselves like this. Hey, I help you get more leads with AI. Or, hey, do you need help with outreach? Because nobody wakes up in the morning wanting a new outreach system. They wake up thinking about the problems that are stressing them out. Revenue dropping, but costs slowing down, a team member quits, ads aren't converting, they need momentum, they need help, and when you message someone saying that you will help them get new leads, you sound like literally every other freelancer out there. They throw you in the same bucket as everyone else. They assume that you're going to just waste their time and give them more work instead of reducing it. Now instead, position yourself like someone who solves painful problems that they think about every single day. This is literally what separates someone doing AI services from someone running a real AI lead generation business. When you reach out to a marketing agency, a coach, a consultant, whatever your niche might be, look for something clearly broken in their funnel or in their follow-up process. Every single business has a bottleneck. Every business has something that they know should be fixed, but they keep putting it off. And your job is to spot it before they even do it themselves. So if you're going through their funnel and you see that they don't have automated follow-ups, say something like, hey, I noticed you aren't re-engaging leads who didn't book a call. You're probably losing a lot of people who were interested but just got distracted. I rebuilt the follow-up sequence with AI so it's personalized based on each lead's behavior. If you want to see it, let me know. That is a problem solver. That is someone who understands their business better than their own team. That is someone who's not saying, hire me, but here's the exact place that you're leaking money and here's what I'll do about it for you. And when you position yourself this way, your value instantly just shoots up. You stop being a random freelancer just charging low ticket rates and become someone that they actually trust with revenue. You become someone who could charge more, someone they'll refer, someone they see as a fixer, not as a cost. Most people sell AI like a feature. I use AI to help you do X. But business owners don't care about AI. They care about outcomes. They care about money in and money out. They care about removing pain. AI is just the vehicle that you use to fix something that they never had time to actually improve. And when you start thinking this way, your entire outreach just changes. Your message gets stronger. Your confidence goes up. You start spotting problems faster and you stop sounding like everyone else just begging for attention. This one mindset shift alone will make you stand out more than any script, any template, or any tool. Principle 2, rejection is simply just data. Most beginners send 10 emails, get ignored, and then quit, and that is exactly why they just never end up getting anywhere. Because the people who win in AI lead generation send hundreds of messages a day. They look at every single reply, every ghost, every objection, and they pay attention. Every ghost is data. Every no is data. Every objection is a signal telling you what to fix. And this is the difference between someone who hopes something works and someone who's running real experiments backed by real information. When I first got started, I reviewed my replies every single night. I looked for patterns. I looked for which messages got opened and which ones were ignored. I looked at where people lost interest. I looked at how fast they replied. I looked for anything that I could use in order to help me adjust. And over time, the data told me everything I needed to know. It showed me which niches responded the best. It showed me which angles got attention. It showed me which follow-ups actually worked. And when you treat this like a skill, you just improve naturally because you're learning from real feedback. But when you treat it like a lottery ticket where you just hope someone magically replies, you quit early because you never learned how to actually adjust. And people who win going into this know that rejection is not a bad thing. Rejection is simply just information. Rejection is feedback. Rejection is the thing that sharpens your outreach style until it becomes undeniable. If you can adopt this mindset early, you will grow faster than 90% of beginners who crumble after a few ignored emails. Because the truth is simple. You're never being rejected personally. Only your last email was. And you can always make the next email even better. Principle 3. Your pipeline must always be full. And this kills more momentum than anything else that I've ever seen. Because people get 2 conversations going, they feel good, then they think something is finally working, and then they just stop sending emails. They convince themselves that they are busy. They convince themselves that they should wait and see. They keep refreshing their email inbox instead of adding new conversations to it, and suddenly everything dies. Days go by, no replies, no calls, no clients, and the worst part is that it always hits them when it's too late to fix quickly. Your outreach today becomes your clients next month. That is why 30 to 60 minutes a day of sending cold emails is simply non-negotiable. Even when I was doing $30,000 a month, I still made sure that emails were going out every single day. Even when it felt like nothing was happening. Even when replies were slow. Even when I thought things were going fine, I still kept sending. And instead of slowing down, I would ask myself, how could I increase my volume even more? Because volume is the oxygen of this business. It gives you options. It protects you from slow months. It pulls in better clients. It gives you leverage. You stop depending on 1 or 2 leads. You stop hoping certain deals close. And you stop stressing about slow weeks. A full pipeline fixes 80% of your problems. And when your pipeline is full, you just simply negotiate better. You set boundaries better. You raise your prices without fear, and you become way more confident because you have momentum coming from multiple directions. But when your outreach stops, everything else stops with it. So if there's one discipline that guarantees growth in AI lead generation, it is to keep your pipeline full no matter what. At the end of the day, volume is king, and consistency is what separates people who gets a few lucky wins from people who build something real. Now, principle 4, timing is everything. A no today means absolutely nothing, and most beginners never understand this. People's situation change every single month. Their contractor leaves, the calendar dries up, they launch something new, the ad performance tanks, their sales team quits, their priorities shift overnight. I've had people ignore me for literally months, then suddenly reply out of nowhere asking if I'm still available because now they urgently need help. This is why follow-up is one of the most powerful tools in this business, because if you're not circling back, you are literally throwing away clients who would have said yes later. The truth is most people do not say no because they don't like your offer. They say no because they are busy. They're distracted. They're overwhelmed. They're just not ready. And when you circle back at the right moment, they finally have the bandwidth to actually care. They're not ready. And when you circle back at the right moment, they finally have the bandwidth to actually care. And that is why you follow up forever. Not daily, not aggressively, just consistent, simple check-ins, short messages, and a quick reminder that you actually exist. Not spam, not pressure, just awareness. People actually respect that. People remember that, and when the timing finally lines up, you become the person that they reach out to because you stayed on the radar without being annoying. Most of the easiest clients that I've ever closed came from follow-ups that I sent 3 months later, 4 months later, sometimes even 6 months later. And the only reason I got them was because I understood that timing is everything, and you just never know when someone or something will shift from not interested to desperately needing help. If you learn to play that long timeline, your results will literally explode. Now, principle 5, play the long game. The people who get the results fastest are always going to be the ones who commit the longest because this business rewards consistency way more than talent. Most beginners quit after a few hundred emails because they think 100 is a lie. But in reality, 100 is nothing. Most clients show up only after a few dozen emails, not a few dozen. And this is why people who win are the ones who outlast everyone else. If I told you that your first client was guaranteed within 5 to 10,000 emails, you would send them so fast and you would literally not complain because suddenly the path is super clear and you know exactly what you have to do. And that is the point. The business is not a game of intensity. It is a game of endurance. Anyone can send emails for a week when they feel motivated. Anyone can go hard for a few days, but the people who get paid are the ones who keep going when they are tired, when replies dry up, when doubts creep in, and when it feels like that nothing is literally happening. They still keep sending. They still follow up. They still stay consistent, and eventually the volume catches up to them in the form of clients and in the form of opportunities. Most people fail because they quit way too early, not because the model doesn't work. And if you stay in the game longer than everyone else, you almost cannot lose. Now, principle 6, your competition is weak. People think that AI lead generation is saturated. And sure, a lot of people are trying this, but almost nobody is consistent enough to be a real threat. Most beginners send cold emails for a week, maybe 2, and the moment they don't get a response that they wanted, they just simply shut down. They feel discouraged. They start doubting this model. They overthink literally everything. They switch niches, they change the offer, they binge more YouTube videos, they rewrite the scripts 10 times, and then they quietly quit completely because they think something is wrong with the model when the only thing that was wrong was their consistency. The truth is, most people are not willing to send 100 emails a day. Most people are not willing to follow up. Most people are not willing to stay focused for more than a few days. But if you show up every single day, even for 1 hour a day, even if all you do is send your batch of cold emails and move on with your day, you instantly become the top 10%. Not because you're special, not because you have instinct talent, but simply because you're doing things that everyone else refuses to do consistently. And this is why this business works. It rewards the people who stay in the game the longest. If you actually apply these principles and stop quitting early, you will get clients. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. And the only thing standing between you and that first client is your ability to show up more consistently than the people around you.